So here you so as we discussed yesterday, right? There will be a transaction codes. After that, each and every process, okay, there will be a transaction code. So in this transaction code, okay, we generally call it as a T code. Okay, shortest way is we can say T code. Okay.
Okay.
So every process, every where whenever you are trying to do any screen, okay, that was the linked with the that T code. Okay, so
Okay.
it is very necessary. You need to remember that some of the T codes, because as a MM consultant, okay, you should aware about that some of the T codes. Okay, at least there are some lakhs of the T codes are there, but it is not necessary all the T codes, because okay, some of the basic and important T codes which we need to be remember. Okay.
Okay.
So let's understand that some of the T codes how we can do. Okay. So let's business process wise. Let's go to business process wise. Okay. If you want to do the P2P process, okay, what are the transaction codes? What are the T codes will be processed here? Okay. Let's understand. Okay. So the first process is let's say purchase requisition. Okay. So ME51N. Okay. Or we can go with ME51. Okay. So ME51 is the old version. Okay. So as we discussed, right? So there was a 4.7 version and 5.0 and 6.0. This is the version. Okay. So ME51 is the older version. Okay. And ME51N is the newer version. Okay. So what is the difference if you compare that? ME51, it is like a step by step you need to be performed. Okay, header level, okay, in the one screen, then item level, it is a one screen. Okay, so it is not. I will show you that in the SAP system how it will be like. And ME51N is the enjoy transaction. Okay, let me check that for HANA. I think in the latest versions they removed so many transactions. Okay, let's see in the here. So if I go to ME51, okay, so the screen looks like here. Okay, so that means this is the header information. Okay, somewhat item information. And again, what you need to do next, if you want to enter the item numbers, each item wise you have to be entered. Okay, so each item wise you need to be entered that. Okay, this is the details. But if you go to ME51N, okay, so what you can do in the ME51N, you can do all the transactions in a single screen. So that means in the header level, if you can see here header, it is there, and at a time you can do, and item level you can do all the information. Okay. So this is a looks like a enjoy transaction, and N is a nothing but like a enjoy transaction. And
is nothing but
enjoy transaction.
oh, okay.
Enjoy transaction. Okay. So this is a new latest version, which is in the ECC 6.0 onwards. It is there. Okay. And if you are using 4.7 version, I think they might be have the ME51, ME51, ME21. So some people still, if it is an older version they are using, they might be going with the older versions. Okay.
Okay.
So so wherever any ME51 and ME52 and ME53 and wherever it is there, there is a sequential also ME51, ME52, ME53.
Okay.
Okay. And coming to the, so this is the creation of the purchase requisition.
Okay.
Creation of purchase requisition. So what do you mean by purchase requisition? The requirements whatever we gather in internally, that we are entering into the in the requisitions form. Okay, like a requisition form, we are entering that what exactly we required. Okay, what exactly we required, that the data which we are collecting from internally. Okay, either it may be from the stock materials or non-stock materials, whatever it may be. Okay, that we are creating in the requisition. Okay, and in case if you need to be change anything, okay, suppose after creating this purchase requisition, the system will be generated the one number, 10 digits number. Okay, to identification of the, to track the PR number, PR. Okay, there is a 10 digits number will be created. Okay, so that that is a reference number to furtherly in future if you need to be check that this purchase requisition, the requirements, where is the exactly status and how it is like, we can see from the PR. Okay, so then ME52N. Okay, ME52N and ME52 all, it will be like change purchase requisition. Okay, some of the information if you enter wrong, okay, those information if you want to be changed, okay, that we can change in the purchase requisition. So not all the data, but some of the data which we can change. Okay,
To change that, we give the reference number.
yeah, we have to give. So how system knows about that, which purchase requisition you are looking at. So this is a reference. So furtherly, once you this created, the further whatever you want to do, all it will be based on the this 10 digits number only. Okay, all it is. Okay, so ME52N is a purchase requisition. Okay, and ME53N. Okay, this is a display purchase requisition. Okay. So create, change, and display. So most of the transactions, okay, most of the transaction will be like 1, 2, 3 only. 1 is the creation, 2 is the change, and 3 is the display. Most of the transactions. Okay. So if you have the if there is a CS01 is there, then obviously there will be a CS02, CS03. So like if any transaction code started with 1, then obviously 2 and 3 also will be there. Okay. So this is a purchase requisition. Okay, and there might be have the sometimes what will happen, they have the approvals also like. Okay, that means after you creating requisition, let's say I assume that I'm the office boy, I created one purchase requisition. Okay, so it's simple, I cannot process that purchase requisition because might be I created for 1 crore or 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs, 30 lakhs. So whether it is required or not required, how we know? The higher person, he has to be verified and he has to be passed this purchase requisition. If suppose in your home you said this is my requirement, and your brother he said this is my requirement. So like you collected all the requirements, but finally your father has to be approved. Okay, this is required, this is required, this is not required, like this, right? Yes. So the same way here also there will be approvals, different approvals it is required. Okay, so if the depends on the purchase requisition, we can map that. Okay, what are the approvals which is required. Suppose let's say if it is a assets related, okay, so then for assets might be there is a separate team. Okay, asset manager and asset controller, or it may be finance manager or marketing manager, or okay, CEO or CFO. So there are so many different levels are there, right? So you can map that how many levels which is required and what is the price. Might be the cost of the also. If suppose in your home, if it is 100 rupees, okay, no need to be take approval. But if it is a 1 lakh rupees, obviously you need to be take approvals from some higher level. So the same way here also there will be a different levels. Okay, for these different levels, so how we need to be define that and how we can approve that we can do. Okay, only for okay, only for the approvals. Okay, okay, we can use that ME54N. Okay, or ME55. Okay, so this is the one is collective release and one is individual release. So collective release of PR or individual release.
So ME55 doesn't have N.
No, ME 54N is a collective release. ME 55 is a individual release. So what is a collective release and what is individual release? Okay. ME, if you go to ME 54N, okay, I can approve all the if I have the access, I can approve all the levels. Even the CFO and marketing manager and higher managers, all approvals I can do it. Okay, it's kind of the enjoy transaction. So you can do from the enjoy transaction. But ME55 it is like a single screen where I can give only for one approval. I can process only for one at a time. That means if I have the manager approvals, let's say some that. Okay. Okay, there is a team lead. Okay, there is a team lead, and there is a manager, okay, and there is a delivery manager.
Okay.
Or delivery head. Okay. Let's assume that delivery head is there. Okay, now if I go to M4N and if I have the access for all the codes, okay, this we generally call as a code. Okay, when we have the access for all the code in ME54N, I can do at a time for all in the single screen. Okay, but in ME55, even I have access for all the levels. Okay, I can go first team lead, then after that I have to go manager, then I have to go delivery head. So this I have to go each and every individual screen level. One by one, I have to approve. Okay, I'll show you that how it will like screen. Okay. So if you go to ME54N, okay, the screen looks like how it is like ME54N. The same way it will be there. Okay, so there will be a separate tab will come. Okay, in the header level or item level, there we can upload this one. Okay, so this is enjoy transaction. Okay, because header item under all details I can see at one single screen. But if I go to ME55, if I go to ME55, okay, then what will be happen? It will be I can give only for one code, one group and one code. Okay. So I will show you any of the PO which we can have this kind of the POs. Okay. Let's go to EBAN. Okay, let's see one PR number. Okay. If you see that here, release strategy app, if it is a configured, then only it will come. It won't become default. Okay. Now, if you see that here, okay, I can see that at a time RG, RK, and RP. Okay, there is three codes are there. Okay, so if I'm there in the ME54N, what I can do? Okay, if I have access, I can release directly all the levels. Okay, if I have the access, but if it is the same PO, the same PR number, if I want to go in the ME55, if I want to go ME55, what I can do? I can enter only one code, RJ. I can only enter the one code and I can release only one code. I cannot release at a time.
Okay.
Okay, so I have to go individually and I have to be select the approvals here. I have to select a PR number and code and I have to execute. Okay, then I can okay, if there is a okay, maybe this is have some access authorization which is required. Okay, so what is the PR number? This is PR number, right? Let me try some other peers. Okay, here we need to see that release strategies also, codes also we need to be checked it out. So maybe it is deleted. Maybe yesterday we seen, right? So many it is deleted, the codes and all. Maybe it is deleted somebody. That's why it won't be displayed here. So even if I just put the star also, it won't be come because I have to give exactly won't be go. Okay. So generally, if it is active, then we can see. Okay, because here they already deleted the strategies and all. Okay, so that's why it will. So when we configuring this release strategy also, but here what is the case? We can release at a time. If I release this one, then I can go to RK, then I can go to RP, like I can go.
Okay.
So this is the way we can go here.
Okay. Now it is different.
Now this is I can release, or else it will be I can do by this is the way. So there is a two transaction cost. One is ME54N and ME55. Okay. So in the real time, generally they have only for the ME55 because individually they have the access, right? If the team lead, I am the team lead, somebody have the manager. I cannot act as a role as a manager, right? So individually in the real time, ME55 is the major role. Okay, so they will assign that. Okay, only team. Okay, you are the person team lead. Okay, I will give the code. The release code will be assigned to your ID. Okay, then you only can do that. Okay, clear?
Okay.
That we will discuss when we are talking about approvals. Okay, so this is how we are doing this in the release strategy process. Okay, this we will be doing release strategy process. Okay, clear?
Okay.
Now coming to the this is a purchase requisition. Okay. Now if I go to PO purchase order creation. Okay. ME21N. So creation of purchase order. Okay. So the same way here also 10 digits number. Okay. Most of the external and internal documents which will be created with 10 digits only. The number will be 10 digits only. Okay.
Okay.
So again ME22N has aside ME22N is the change. Okay. And ME23N is the display purchase order. Okay. And for coming to the release, okay, here we're coming to the release, we have the transaction code ME28 individual release. Okay, and ME29N is the collector release. Collector release is nothing but like at the time you can do all the codes. Okay.
Okay.
Clear?
Okay.
Okay. So if you go to RFQ, request for quotation. Okay. Request for quotation, we don't have enjoy transaction. We have only direct screen, which is a older screen only. This is the creation of RFQ. Okay. And change, and it will be like ME52N and ME52 and ME53, sorry, ME42 and ME52. Change which is there.
So this series doesn't have an
So here we don't have any enjoy transaction here. So I can go to here. It is only one single screen. Okay. Only it's the older version. We don't have ME43N. Okay. That was not created as of now. Okay, there is no ME43. That's why I just said that only for a wherever it is required, they are given this option, that new screen. Okay,
Okay.
ME41 and ME42 and ME43. What is the RFQ?
RFQ request for quotation.
Yeah, a request for quotation. What is the purpose of that?
The quotation of the items which we are
So which we are sending to the,
quoting.
so we are expecting the price quotation from the vendor. That quotations we are sending. So we are requesting for the quotation, the price quotation, right? Okay. So then after that, once we got that, the price details and all, we will be maintaining in the ME47. Okay. Maintain RFQ. In this maintain RFQ, what we are doing, we are maintaining that price data. So price data, whatever we got the prices, pricing conditions, terms and conditions, whatever it is there, that we are entering here. Okay. And coming to the ME49. Okay. So here we are doing the comparison. So comparison of the multiple RFQs. Okay. Why we need to compare here? To identify the best source, best vendor. So to select best vendor based on the price. Okay. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So this is the for the RFQ, request for quotation. Okay. Now coming to next what is that? We completed the purchase equation, purchase order, and RFQ. In the P2P process, what we else?
Order, purchase order, goods received. Purchase order.
Order is completed, right?
Okay.
Creation of purchase order.
Goods received.
Purchase requisition completed, RFQ completed, purchase orders completed. Now
Goods received, invoice verification.
so yeah, goods receipt now. Okay. So goods receipt. Okay, goods receipt or goods issue. Okay, or transfer posting. Okay, or vendor returns. Cancellation. Okay, and all whatever the stock movements, all stock movements. Okay, so all the stock movements means okay, stock movements we can perform, not all stock movements. So stock movements can be performed from one single screen, that is MIGO. Okay, enjoy transaction. This is also.
Okay.
So MIGO is the only one transaction can have the all the performance. We can do goods issue, we can do the goods issue, transfer posting. Okay, all we can do. So how it will be like if we go to MIGO. Okay. So this looks like the transaction like here. This is the transaction. This is the screen. Okay. So MIGO. So here you can perform that goods issue, return delivery, cancellation, display. Okay, all this all activities we can perform from here. Okay. So based on the process, you need to be select which process you want to go ahead. Okay. If you want to go with return delivery, then you can go to return delivery. Okay. If If you want to go with about transfer posting, then you can go with the transfer posting. Okay, so like all the activities we can perform here. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so this is also at the RAM 5.0, 6.0, that version it is started. But earlier we have the sum of the transaction codes, which is like MB01, okay, and MB1A. So each and every process have a separate transaction code. MB1B, okay, and MB1C, okay, MBST. Okay, so we have so many, it is like transaction codes. Okay, so there are so many transaction codes are there. These are all old version T codes. Okay, if still they are using 4.7 version, that maybe you can see that these transaction codes, they still they are using with these transaction codes. Okay, so MB1A is a goods issue. Okay, and MB1B is the transfer posting, and MB1C is the goods receipt, and this is the material document creation, and this is the cancellation, and this is the display. So like each and every have that separate. Okay, clear?
Okay.
So you got the point right here. This is the older version. Okay, so these older version transaction codes, which is there till 6.0. Okay, from the S4 HANA and the latest version and all, this is the absolute. That means you cannot run the transaction code because they don't want to use this transaction codes. They are stopped that. If I go to here, if I just selected that MB1A, okay, then it will give that message like, okay, this is the absolute, this transaction code. Okay, the transaction code is absolute. Okay, so you can see that SAP note where it is explained that. Okay, clear? So all these transaction codes are is obsolete for the latest version. But if you still someone if they're using older version, then you can see that this transaction code. Why I'm explaining this transaction code? Because maybe you are getting the chance to work in the older version also. Sometimes maybe the client still he didn't upgrade it to new versions, right? So in that case, you should aware about it. Okay, we also have this type of the transaction codes, MB01, MB1A, MB1B, MB1C, like this we have. Okay, you should also should aware about this one. Okay, clear?
Okay.
So now coming to the invoice verification. Okay,
So the newer version codes will be?
newer version will be MIU, right?
Okay. Oh, that itself is enough. We have
Yeah,
the.
that is only single. This is only single. That's
Okay.
right. So they are absolutely all the older versions, and now they are introduced only one. So that's why right, the above which I explained that the goods issue, transfer posting, all it will be can be done in the single screen. Okay, and coming to invoice verification. Okay, put this one again. So in MIRO, okay. So this is a transaction code. This is also enjoy transaction code. Okay, so here we can perform at in the single screen. We can perform that. Okay, my RO. Okay, this is we can do create memo. Okay, and we can do the actual invoice posting and subsequent debit. Okay, and subsequent credit. Do you remember that what is the subsequent debit and subsequent credit?
No.
Create memo. We last time we discussed about this one.
Yes, I remember.
So subsequent debit and subsequent credit are if there is a price
Negotiations done between.
If there is any price difference, price negotiation it is there. Okay, then it will be like that. Okay, now we can use the MIRO transaction code. Okay, and other than this one, we have some other transaction codes also. Okay, that is for the automatic payments for that. Okay, we have some scenarios like the invoice automatic settlement will be there, right? The settlements and all. Okay, that would be we can do in the. So my R for the display invoice. If you want to see that individual individual invoice number display, what is the posting happen in the inside that, we can go in the invoice here. If I have the my R5, I can see that list of all the invoices. Okay, and MRKO. Okay, so MRKO is the settlement. Okay, which is for consignment and pipeline. Okay, and we have MRRL also, it is there. So there will be MRRL. Okay, and MRIS. Okay, so if you remember that we have multiple process like, okay, if MRKO, if it is like this is consignment settlement. Okay, so consignment and the pipeline settlement we can do in the single screen. Okay, if I go to MRRL, okay, this is the evaluated receipt settlement which we have discussed, right? ERS process, right? Here, did you remember that MRRL? So we discussed about ERS, evaluated receipt settlement. What is the process for this ERS? What is that? What is the logic for this ERS? What do you mean by ERS? What do you mean by MRS? Sorry, ERS. It's like we don't expecting any invoice from the vendor. Okay, based on the GR and the PO price and GR quantity, we are settling the automatically the invoice, right? Okay. And MRIS. What else we have settlements? Invoice plan, right? So this is for the invoice plan settlements. Do you remember that invoice plan settlement?
Yes, partial invoice and periodic invoice.
Yeah, periodic invoice and partial invoice. Okay, so some of the transaction codes, these are the transaction codes which are using for the automatic payment settlements. Okay, and we have one more transaction code which is MRRS also. Okay, in the year for ERS, MRRS, we have also ERS. Okay, but this is for the background job. So this is for the background job. So we'll discuss this background job, how it will be like. So how the system knows that whether what time I need to be run these settlements every time. Keep on, it will not be run, right? Every 1 minute, every 2 minutes, if it is need to be run, then it is taking long time to run every time. Because every minute, if it is need to be run, then it's very difficult, right? We have to give some time, boss, to the system. Okay, you can consider that the entire documents at a time by evening 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, when the business is closed. Okay, so that the settlement, whatever it is pending today, all settlement. Did you got the point or?
Yeah.
Did you got the point? So instead of every time, if suppose I posted just now on GR document number. Okay, so again after 15 minutes I posted one more GR document number. After 30 minutes I posted one GR document number. Okay, so what I just giving suggestion to the system. I'm just putting like condition like, okay, every day by evening 7 o'clock or 8 o'clock, you just run this report. Whatever it is completed today, all the GRs you settle at a time. Because these are all automatic settlements, right?
Yes.
So individually, instead of individually you are processing every time, you just collect all the information at a time by evening or evening, whatever the timings. Okay, and then you just process that automatically payments. Okay, so here what we'll give the some time period. Okay, you need in the background job we'll schedule that, and by evening 12 o'clock when the business timings, because it should not be impact for the my business, because every day we are creating purchase orders, purchase requisitions, Migo, every time we are doing this process, right? Okay, when if there is a huge documents are there, then it will be impacting on the other transaction because the performance is very low. because the memory also very less. At a time, I cannot run thousands of records, right? So when we can plan that, we can plan at a midnight of the plan, midnight or evening when the business timings are closed. Then we can process this one. Then there is no huge documents which is processing that time. Okay, then there is a time to job work also can process easily without dump and without getting performance issue.
Okay.
Clear?
Okay.
Okay. So these are the transactions here for the settlement, invoice receipt settlements related. Okay.
Okay.
And coming to the, we have outline agreements, which is, okay. So what do you mean by outline agreements?
Not really sure.
So did you aware about this one agreement? What is the meaning of agreement?
Yes.
What is the agreement?
Agreement between the vendor and the customer for particular purchase order or something. So whole outline of the agreement.
Generally, what kind of the agreements we will write in the outside? If suppose rental agreement is there, what is that agreement?
Vendor will give the deadlines of for this quotation and everything.
Okay. Okay.
He describes the quotation and the discounts, any negotiation or anything will be agreed on one
And
agreement.
generally agreements will be the short period or it is long term period?
And depends on the necessity. Contract wise, also few of them for 6 months or
But not individual order, right? It's not like individual order, right?
no.
It's for the multiple, right?
Yes.
Okay, every time I cannot say that this is the agreement, today agreement, this is tomorrow agreement, this is the
No,
right? It's not short period, right? It's long term only, right? Planning.
Yes.
So
Agreements are done.
outline agreements are the long term agreements, okay? Like which we are dealing with the vendor, okay? On the might be on the quantity, or it may be on the price, okay, on maybe value contract, right? So there is a two types of agreements are there. One is contract, and the second one is scheduling agreement.
Okay.
Okay. So contract and one is scheduling agreement. So there is a two types of the agreement. One is contract and the second one is scheduling agreement.
Yes.
So what do you mean by scheduling agreement?
Scheduling is to particular period on time. This is the time we are scheduling one time for delivery or predefined dates.
Exactly. So coming to the contract, okay, there will be a different kinds of the contracts we have. Okay. So one is quantity contract. Okay, and one is a value contract. Okay, and another one is a central contract. Okay, so what is the what do you mean by this difference is quantity contract is nothing but like particularly on quantity. Okay, so especially this 1 year, let's assume that I just planning for the contract for 1 year with this vendor. Okay, so I'm just saying that boss, please for next 1 year I'm just planning to need 1 lakh quantity. Okay, so this is what we just assumption and just this is the agreement like. Okay, so next 1 year I'm planning to buy 1 lakh quantity. So please plan for the this period I need 1 lakh quantity. So please plan accordingly. Okay, and when it is value. Okay, so here also when you're talking about here also, we'll be talking about the price. Okay, price also will be discussing, because 1,000, 1 lakh quantity when we are planning, we are also planning for the price. Okay, but when it is coming to the value in respect of the quantity, okay, I'm just saying that, okay, we are agreeing that, okay, next 1 year we are planning to 10 lakhs value of the products from you. Okay, 10 lakhs value of the product. So the value is the entire contract value, right? And it is quantity contracted individually material wise. We can say that, okay, boss, this is the quantity which we are planning for the 1 lakh quantity for this material next 1 year. Okay, and the contract value is like maybe multiple materials. I have the multiple values. Okay, but we are planning to buy 10,000 value. Okay, so here also we'll be talking about the price only. Okay, because generally we are talking with them when we are negotiating. The major concern is the only price negotiation. At the higher level is the price negotiation. So we are talking about price negotiation everywhere. The price we are fixing that. But at a time we just talking about the quantity. Okay, boss. Okay, maybe that is a too demanded product. Then I can plan that. Okay, boss, this is the I need. Obviously, I need 1 lakh quantity because I'm just constructing my building. Okay, constructing my building. So I need 1 lakh quantity of the cement bags. Okay, so this is my plan. Okay, with respect of the value. And when we're talking about a central contract, it is like both quantity or it may be value. Okay, either it may be quantity or value. We will be defining that in the central contract.
Okay.
Okay, so this is what we have the contracts. Okay, and the transaction codes are for contract. ME 31K. Okay, create contract. Okay, ME 32K. Change contract. Okay, ME 33K. It a display contract. Okay, so there is no gap here. Just get the gap automatically. So there is no gap here. It is ME 33K, ME 31K, and ME 33K. So this is the contract. So any doubts here?
No. Okay.
So now coming to scheduling agreement. Okay, what do you mean by scheduling agreement?
Predefined dates of
Predefined schedules. Okay, that means in the schedule agreement, what we are doing. Okay, we there is what is the difference here and comparing to the contract and schedule agreement. Contract, we don't have dates, the delivery dates. We are not giving any delivery dates here. Okay, but in the coming to the schedule agreement, okay, we have the dates. Okay, we have the dates exactly when it is required. Suppose next 1 year I'm planning. So January 15th, which is required. So that is we call as a maintained delivery schedule. Okay. So when coming to the scheduling agreement, okay, we have the two types of the scheduling agreements are there. One is with release and without release. So there is a one is the with release of agreement, and okay, with release of the schedule lines. Okay, and the second one is without release. Okay, so what do you mean by with release and without release? So in the without release, what will be happen once you created the dates when you creating the schedule agreement? Once you created agreement, and once you are entering that the dates when it is required, based on the dates, the vendor will be sending the goods to you. Okay, so no need to check that, no need to recheck that. Okay, this is the date, boss, this is the date, this is the date which you schedule. Okay, no need to check. They can send on that time without any approvals. Okay, but with release, what will happen? There is different scenarios like first, okay, there is a just in time and forecast, forecast planning. Okay, so based on what will be happen, we'll be giving that. Okay, next to six weeks, what is my requirement? Next 5 months, 5 weeks, what is the requirement? So every time we will be adjusting the timings and we'll be providing that. Because I'm also not aware sometimes next 12 months, if I need to give all the dates, it's very difficult, right, for me as well. Okay, so with approval, what will be happen? We are giving that. Okay, we are releasing that next to 4-5 weeks, whatever it is required. We are just giving that just in time. On time, we are giving that date. So for before maybe 3 to 4 days before or 1 week before, we are just giving the dates. So he has to be ready with that quantity. Okay, because that the agreement we have, right? You got it?
Okay.
Okay, so that is the schedule agreement. Okay, with release and without release. So the transaction codes are okay. ME31L. Okay, ME31L is the create schedule agreement. Okay, and ME32L is for the change schedule agreement. Okay, ME33L, it is like display scheduling agreement. Okay, so here we just creating the agreement only, but you also need to be maintain the schedule lines. That means dates when you want to be. So maintain delivery schedules. Maintain the delivery schedules is a ME38. ME38 is nothing but like a we are maintaining that the dates of requirements.
Okay.
Yeah? So when it is required, the delivery dates they are maintaining.
So here the LK describes the item categories.
These are the T codes, okay, but item, yes, you can say item category also same. But no, it's not item category. Why? It's not item category. It is a transaction code. T code only. Item category is different.
Okay. Okay.
It's not item category. It is like transaction T code only. So SAP provides default T codes. Okay. But somewhat, if you can say, okay, this K and L will be key indicators to identify the contract and schedule agreement. Okay, but that is not item category. Okay, that is the category, PO category. Okay? Because if you see that there is a above, okay, the purchase order is there, right? In this purchase order, okay, even this purchase order and these contracts and schedule agreements, okay, all it will be saved in the single database table. Okay, so how we can differentiate that based on the category we can differentiate. Okay, that we will discuss about it. Okay. So now, so these are the major transaction codes. Okay, as a process wise, if you want to see that, these are the major transaction codes which we are regularly using to complete a process. Okay, and in the if you see that in the ME33L, okay, so there is a transaction codes for the release because we are talking about a release, right? With release. Okay, so without release and with release. If it is without release, these are the transaction codes. Okay, and if it is with release, additionally there will be a one transaction code which is like ME84. Okay, ME84 and 85. Okay, which are the for the release schedule agreement to release. Okay, so we can see in the transaction code here ME54. Sorry, ME84. Sorry, ME84. Okay, this is the create release. Okay. Okay, and coming to the ME85. Okay, Okay, this is the schedule, renumber the schedule agreement. Okay, so the major one is the ME84. Okay, so this is the for the agreement release. Okay, so I said right, ME84 we have just in time and forecast model. Okay, you can see here forecast model and just in schedule time. Okay. Okay. So this is the process. Okay. These are the transaction code majorly. So if for the subcontracting, consignment process, all it will be we are differentiating based on item category and account assessment categories. Okay. But transaction T codes wise. Okay. Okay.
Who is the process?
It is the same T codes. Okay. That transaction code wise, it is the same T codes. Okay. Okay. So any other questions here in this transaction codes which you? So this is the process wise. Okay. But master data wise, if you remember that we also discussed about the master data.
Yes.
Okay. So what are the master data we have? What is the master data we have?
Client, company code, plans.
No, master data, not
BOM.
master data, not organized structure.
Okay. It is one-time record, right?
Yeah, correct. Exactly. One-time records. Submitted master record, under master record, purchase info record, source list, quota arrangement, condition records. Do you remember?
Yes.
Okay. So in the material master record, okay. If you want to create a material master record, MM01, okay. Creation of material master record. Yeah, MM02. Change material master record. And MM03. Display material master record. Okay. And MM04. Any changes, okay. Changes in material master record or to track that. Okay, in the changes track. Okay, can see the if the metal master card already created, but somebody they changed in the metal master card. So that changes we can see that okay in the metal master card changes. Okay, in M04. Okay.
Okay.
So there is a transaction code MASS can upload, can mass update at a time for multiple materials.
Okay.
Okay. So if you see that here, okay, there is some other transaction code MMEAM. Okay, so if it is MMEAM, then it is a material type change. Okay, so some conditions will be there. So many transaction codes are there, but majorly these are the transaction codes we generally using. Okay, MM06 are so there is a flag for deletion. It is there. Okay, so okay, that we can check here. Okay, if you see that in the middle master record, how it will be like. Okay, if I go to MM01. Okay, here we are creating that materials here. Okay, so raw material, packing material, finished packet, how you selected that will be creating create material. Okay, so once you created that, in case if you created mistakenly this material number, it is not necessary. Okay, you can do the flag for deletion. That is a MM06. Okay. So there are so many transaction codes are there, but all it is not necessary. Okay, but some of the transaction code which is required. Okay, so like there's a MM19 is there. You can MM19 is there. Okay, and we have MM 05 also it is there. So there's so many transaction codes are there, but we don't. Sorry, not MM 05. I think MM 19 or something which is there. MM 18 or MM 19. There will be some transaction codes which will be there. Okay. In case if you not remember the transaction codes, what you can do? What you can do?
In tree structure.
You can search in the plastic generals. Right? Here you can go and you can search your logistic general
Yeah,
and metal. And if you're going to go to metal master record and here material and here you can see that MM 17 is a mass maintenance. So this is the MASSC the it is for the for all the master data. Maybe if you want to do for the vendor master record, if you want to do for the purchase info record, okay, everything I can do from the master. This is and your transaction. But MM 17 is especially for the only metal master record. Okay, clear? And you can change the material type and copy materials. Okay, you can see that display changes MM 04, which we discussed right just now. MM 04, which we display changes track. So like for flag MM 06, okay, like MM 02 change. All we can do in the this transaction board. Okay. Now coming to the vendor master record. Any doubts in this vendor master record? Dipti, are there?
Yeah.
So any questions in this vendor master record?
No, no.
Okay. Now coming to the vendor master record. Okay. So there will be three parts will be there. Okay, in the master record. One is for the financial side transaction codes.
Okay.
And one is MM side transaction code. Okay, and one is central for both. Okay, centrally transaction codes. Okay, so why sir it is required to MM side and ST side? Because vendor master record, when we're talking about the vendor master record, okay, we also need to be fill that bank details and account details, how your payments will be done, payment terms and conditions, and to who is the contact person for the payments. Okay, so from finance side, they will be taking care about all the payments, right? So that's why vendor master record and vendor master record, financial side also they will be update some data. Okay. And from the MM point of view, anyway, we are purchasing the material from that vendor. So we need obviously some currency information and delivery information, salesperson information, and what is the pricing conditions, all this information which is required, right? So now centrally is like if if I am the person is responsible for the vendor master card creation, then I can take the financial side and MM side. So maybe he is a centrally. He's coordinating with the finance team and he's coordinating with MM team, and they are collecting the information. And at a time, he is creating a dice at one time. Okay? So this is the transaction code is XK01 and XK02 and XK03. And when we're talking about finance side, it is FK01, okay, FK02, and FK03. Okay. And when we're talking about the material management side, it is MK01, MK02, and MK03. MK03. Okay. So when I'm creating from MM side, I can only update some of the data, not for entire vendor master data, because the financial data will be updated from the FK01. Okay. But when I'm just using XK01, I can update the above all the data, financial data and the MM data. What I can update. But if I'm using data, then I can only update data. I cannot update the financial data. If financial also, they can update only financial data, not entire data. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. And obviously there will be a transaction code for the flag for relation XK06 and MK06, FK06. Okay, this is special for the flag for relations, right? And again, change for the change also MK04, FK04, MK04, like that. Everywhere it is the same transaction codes. Okay.
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah.
And the mass, anyway, mass it is just common. Mass it is common for the all the master records. Okay. Now in the mass, what we can do? If you go to mass transaction code, okay, I can do at a time. I can do for the all the master data, which is like by selecting the objective type. Okay, in the objective type, I can see the metal master record, vendor master record, info records, all these things I can do. Okay, so here profit centers, even finance side and SD side, customer master record, business partners, everything I can do from here. Okay, but if I just go to individually transaction code, it will be only for the metal master record. So it will be default, it will come object type materials only. Okay, clear?
Okay.
So if you want to go with vendor master record again, you can go here and you can check here where it is. Okay, this will be metal master, right? This will be a metal master record. Okay, and you can go from here. I think it maybe will come from the financial side also. Let's see here, material purchasing, info record, source list and vendor master record. This vendor master record, MK01, MK09, all it will be there here. So you can block also. You can block the vendor also. If you want to particularly block for the one patch organization, this vendor should not be used for my patch organization. Then you can block here.
Okay.
Okay. And flag for deletions. Okay. This is the process. Okay. So if you didn't remember that, you can check from here. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So there are so many transaction codes are there. Okay. Okay. So like now, if you go to info record, if you go to info record, purchase info record, I will go quickly. Purchase info record. Then it is M11, M11 and M12 and M13. Okay. This is a purchase info record. When I'm talking about the source list, only one transaction code ME01. Or we can do from ME0M as well. ME0M is the report. Like okay, source list of materials. I can get the materials of the list. This is the report. Okay. Okay. And if you talking about the condition records, then it is a MEK1. Okay. Clear?
Okay.
Okay. And if you go to MEQ1, so this is a quarter element. Okay. So which we are discussing, right? These are the master data we have. If you remember that, these are the master data. Middle master record, vendor master record, purchase info record, source list. Okay. Clear?
Okay.
So majorly these are the transaction codes we are using. Okay. So if you remember one, each and every process have one transaction code, maybe 2, 3, it will be a sequence. Okay. If you remember that. Okay. So if you see that everywhere it is ME51 and ME52 and ME50. So everywhere 1, 2, 3 will come. Okay. Most of the transaction code it will see that you can get ME1, 2, 3 it will get. Okay. So these are the major transaction code, but we have some other transaction code also, but no, not necessary every time because if you see that metal requirement planning, if you want to see, okay, MRP requirements, where planning generated, planning and generated,
Okay.
planning generated, okay, list of requirements. So here, what will be happen in the list of requirements? We can see the plan orders, purchase requisitions, okay, the requirements, what it is pending, that we can see. What is the plan order? So for what it will be run plan orders, for what it will be generated purchase requisition. If it is external procurement, then it will be generated purchase requisition. If it is a in-house production, then it is a generated plan order. Okay, so that will be the MD04. This is MD04. Okay, so I can see the material stock list of the material stock requirement. Okay, so but there is some new transaction codes also which is created in the S/4HANA. Okay, let's see, that is where we can see here. This is somewhat we can see in the production planning. Let's go to production and production planning, long-term planning, and here is MD61. So there are so many transactions from the planning related. Okay. So there is one transaction code which is introduced in S/4HANA from the MRP point of view. Okay, I'll tell you what is that T code. It is a live, we can say MRP live. Okay, so that is from the PP side it is created. Okay, let me check that. What is the T code? It is MD0. I think MD01 and 1 and something it is there. Okay, so this is the transaction code MRP live MD01 and okay, this is a new transaction code which is changed in the S/4HANA. Okay, so MRP live we can see. Okay, even some of the other transaction codes also which is there. Okay, if you if you want to check that the transaction code, so we can see in that this table. So we'll discuss tomorrow what is the table and what is the tables we can see here. Okay, so if you see here, I can see one more which is MD01P, MD04P. Okay, so this is also one of the transaction code which is newly introduced. So it is not there in the ECC. It is there in S/4HANA. Okay. So this is completely MRP related. Okay, stock requirement pegging and all this. So we'll discuss tomorrow on the tables, database tables. Okay, whatever we discussed here, for that what are the tables will come, those we'll discuss tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
So any questions today class?
No. Okay.
So you need to be when you're doing practicing, obviously you will be remember that this transaction code. Okay. But these are the transaction codes. You can see that so many transaction codes will be there in the SAP, but these are the MM point of view. These are the very important. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Then. Okay. Any questions then?
No.
Okay. Then we will continue tomorrow then.
Okay.